In the folds of Sanatan Dharma lies a knowledge so ancient, so profound that modern science has barely begun to touch its surface. It is the science of energy, of subtle vibrations, of the unseen currents that shape not just the body, but the soul itself. Today, we will enter a domain that has been misunderstood, feared, and often dismissed. The cremation ground, the smashan. To the ordinary eye, it is a place of death. But to the Aghori, to the seer, to the one who truly walks the path of Sanatan wisdom, it is the very laboratory of truth. Why did the rishis say that cremation grounds hold unique energy? Why do the Aghoris meditate amidst burning pyres? Why is it that the very earth of a smashan vibrates differently from any other place on this planet? Let us uncover the forgotten science of cremation ground energy. When a body is reduced to ashes, modern thought sees only decay, an ending. But the Sanatan seers saw energy in transition. You see, the human body is not just matter. It is a vessel of prana, infused with subtle forces, bound by karmic impressions. When life departs, this prana does not vanish into nothingness. It disperses, it shifts, it transforms. The cremation ground is a crucible where this energy is released, absorbed by the elements, and imprinted into the ether. Agni, the sacred fire, plays the central role. In Vedic thought, fire is not destruction, it is transformation. Fire carries the offering from the gross to the subtle. Just as yajnas send mantras into the cosmic field through fire, so does cremation send the final energies of the human vessel into the infinite. The flames consume the physical, but they liberate the subtle. The smashan becomes charged with this release, making it unlike any other place on earth. Now consider this. In the Mahabharata, when Bhishma lay on his bed of arrows, he chose the moment of his departure carefully. Time, tithi, nakshatra, all were calculated, for energy released at death does not dissolve randomly. It follows cosmic rhythms. This is why cremations in Sanatan Dharma are performed with mantras, with offerings, with precision. Each mantra does more than honor the departed. It channels the energy being released, ensuring that it does not linger, that it flows upward, not downward. The Aghori enters this space not out of morbid fascination, but because the cremation ground is the highest field of raw, unrefined energy. Most fear it, for they sense this charge but do not understand it. But the adept meditator knows. The smashan strips away illusion. When you sit among burning bodies, what ego can survive? The mind cannot pretend permanence when bones turn to ash before your eyes. In this stripping away, in this raw confrontation, a certain clarity emerges. But there is another dimension, hidden from common knowledge. The energy released at cremation is not only spiritual, it is electromagnetic, vibrational, deeply physical too. Ancient texts describe the earth of cremation grounds as containing Bhuta Shakti, elemental power. The ashes, mixed with earth, become saturated with trace elements released from the body: carbon, calcium, phosphorus. In subtle form, these are not pollutants, they are conductors of energy. The ground itself becomes charged, capable of influencing those who walk upon it. This is why certain rituals, certain sadhanas, are prescribed only in smashans. Have you ever wondered why Kali, the fierce mother, is worshipped amidst cremation grounds? Because she is the embodiment of that energy. She is the one who drinks the currents of death and transforms them into liberation. The Aghori invokes her not as an external deity alone, but as the living force within the cremation ground, the field of dissolution where all forms collapse back into formlessness. Now, there is a forgotten science here that even practitioners today overlook. The cremation ground is not uniform. Its energy differs depending on many factors: the planetary alignment at the time of cremation, the age and karmic load of the departed, even the geographical placement of the ground itself. A smashan by the river, such as Manikarnika in Kashi, carries the cleansing force of water. A smashan in the desert amplifies heat and dryness, creating a harsher energetic field. This is why not all cremation grounds are equal. Some are considered especially potent, and seekers travel long distances to meditate there. The ancient agamas and tantras even describe how the wind in a cremation ground carries subtle impressions. The prana released from the body lingers for hours, sometimes days, before fully dispersing. A yogi sitting there can absorb this prana, not in a parasitic sense, but as a way of transcending the boundaries of individuality. The fear of death dissolves when you can feel the energy of countless beings merging into the vastness, reminding you that you are not separate. But why is this science forgotten? Because over centuries, we reduced cremation to a ritual without inner understanding. We remembered the fire, the mantras, the customs, but we forgot the energetic dimension. We began to see smashans only as sites of mourning, not as laboratories of truth, and so the wisdom faded from common memory. Even today, scientists are beginning to rediscover fragments of this truth. They speak of energy fields, of electromagnetic imprints, of the psychological effect of facing mortality. But the Aghori knew long ago. The cremation ground is both the end and the beginning. It is the place where samsara reveals itself most nakedly, where one can pierce the illusion of continuity. There is also a subtle karmic aspect. In Sanatan Dharma, it is said that dying near sacred grounds like Kashi ensures liberation. Why? Not because geography alone holds magic, but because the energy of countless liberated souls, the vibrations of centuries of cremations, create a field that naturally pulls the soul upward. A cremation ground layered with thousands of departures becomes saturated with the intent of liberation. To die, there is to merge into that current. The Aghori path is fearless precisely because it embraces this reality. Instead of shunning death, it meditates on it. Instead of fleeing cremation grounds, it seeks them out. By doing so, the Aghori unlocks the forgotten science, that the smashan is not a place of ghosts, but of ultimate truth. It is not haunted by spirits, it is haunted by our fear of impermanence. And when that fear is faced, when it is dissolved, what remains is freedom. Think of it like this. All of life is a cremation ground in slow motion. Every moment, cells die and regenerate. Every year, relationships fade, bodies age, identities shift. The smashan only makes visible what is always happening. To meditate there is to step outside denial and into reality. The forgotten science of cremation ground energy teaches us that death is not the opposite of life. It is its completion, its recycling, its return. By understanding the energy released at death, we begin to see our own existence differently. We stop clinging so tightly, we stop fearing so greatly, and we start living more truthfully. So the next time you hear of a cremation ground, do not think only of sorrow. Think of the energy released, the fire transforming, the earth absorbing, the air carrying, the ether recording. Think of it as a field of power, a mirror of truth, a teacher that whispers, "All this is temporary, but you are not." If this wisdom resonates with you, if it stirs something within you, then let us continue this journey together. Share in the comments your thoughts. Have you ever felt the presence of death so closely that it shifted your view of life? Have you ever sensed that certain places carry a different energy altogether? Your experiences matter, for they may help another seeker walking this path. And do not forget to subscribe to the Aghori Code, Because only by building a community of fearless seekers can we keep this ancient wisdom alive. Together, we can remember what has been forgotten and awaken to truths that dissolve fear itself.